Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjawan from the Red Corner Chat. This evening, I get to speak to Riana Scheepers, who is a blogger, the co-founder of iCareSA, as well as the founder of the Soapbox events. Hi, Riana.
Hi, Shamila. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
It's only a pleasure. We just want to get to know a little bit about you. So if you can just give me a brief introduction, who is Riana Scheepers?
Sure, I can do that. Yes, Riana Scheepers, over 40, I won't be exact, but mom of two. And just to give you a brief one quickly, all my life I've been part of community services, volunteering, being part of a whole lot of campaigns from xenophobic attacks, being actively involved in that, to several other women empowerment projects, working currently for an NGO, Just Footprints. And yeah, that's basically me. I don't know, I was probably made to help, which I embrace, and it's absolutely wonderful.
That's awesome to hear. Tell me about your kids' ages.
My first one is 19. He's currently studying at WITS, Bachelor in Dramatic Arts, and real drama queen. I mustn't say it so loud. And then my daughter is 10 years old. She's also becoming a bit of a drama queen. There's a lot of drama in this house. But yeah, they're awesome kids. Want to also be involved like mom. And yeah, they're great.
That's actually quite a nice age gap, and I can relate to that because I've got exactly the same age gap between my son and my daughter. So tell me, Riana, just if you can just tell me a little bit about iCareSA.
Yes, that was started a couple of years ago. We literally go to all the government hospitals and we prepare a little care pack for them, for any mom that's about to give birth or getting ready to go into to the hospitals. So it's a hygienic bag that gives all the soaps and face cloths and everything that she might need for herself while before, during, and after birth. And then also a little parcel for baby, the clothes and toiletries. Before we used to go into hospitals, but we stepped back a bit with that, but it's still happening. So any mom, be it from hospitals, in the communities, we give those bags to them.
Yeah. So who funds this project?
Everybody around me. So it's people I know. I make a call out now and then to collect some stuff, because there's one place in town, it's a street house, safe house actually, where they normally ask me, do I have something? And I would normally make out a big call out to get some stuff for these women. And yeah, it comes in real handy. Sometimes we organize baby showers, not for me or a specific mom, but for moms out there. And that's how we get stuff to hand out to the moms out there. Sometimes it's just a tin of milk. Others would just need clothes specifically for an age group because she's moving around or she doesn't have anything at that point. Yeah, so it depends on the request as well.
So how do you advertise this? Is it on social media?
No, currently no. It's word of mouth. We don't have the capacity to go big scale right now because we're not funded. It's not really a big focus area. But if there's a bigger one coming, we refer them to another organization. I can actually give their names. It's Grace Factory. They like we used to, they go into the hospitals and give care back. So if there's a hospital that needs a big need, that's got a big need, we refer them to them. Yeah.
Okay, and does this care pack include sanitary pads?
At times, sometimes we don't have enough, but yes, most of the packs do have sanitary pads, yes.
Because I think that is so needed, especially a woman having a baby and you have that excess bleeding and you need lots of sanitary pads. And I know with the government hospitals, when they're leaving the hospital, when they discharge, they get one pack of sanitary pads, which is not going to take you very far.
Precisely, yeah.
But that's another discussion for another day.
Oh yeah.
Riana, just tell me a little bit about the event side of it, Soapbox events. How did that start? What is it? Just give me a bit more information on that.
Sure, I can. That's the one I'm more actively involved right now. It's more a women's event. Something major happened to me in 2015, and it was actually amazing. I entered the Jeep Warrior race at a time where my health was like right at the bottom. And long story short, we prayed, and well, God told me that I'm healed, and I decided to believe it. But at the same time, I wanted to test it, so I entered the warrior race. I did the whole 15 course with no energy. My doctor told me no, don't go, and I went anyway because I believed. And I did all the courses. When I started, I actually lost all my senses, my sight, my hearing, and I said, okay, God, if this is you that gave me this healing, then prove it to me. But if it's not, then I'll tuck my tail between my legs and I'll walk off in shame. And I just took my first step and I started walking and I finished all 15 courses. And
Well
from that
done.
moment, yes, and from that moment, I knew it's a moment created not just for me, but for other women as well. If I can overcome this, surely there's other women that overcame stuff and they really want to tell someone else. So that's why I created a braai for ladies, and had this guy that made this big box for me, a wooden box for me, and I stood on my box and I told my story from start to finish. It encouraged other women, and another woman came and she stood on the box and she gave her story. And we moved over from house to house, from hall to hall, from area to area, from Joburg to Benoni with this box, and had so many people, ladies, awesome ladies, I think even men here and there, that stood in the box and told their story. And it's nice to see the golden thread between all of them, where you just see strength coming out. Some of the ladies, they had no idea that they had the strength, and you see the realization when they actually stand on it and say, I actually did it. I actually did it.
So you do agree that this is an amazing platform, the Red Corner Chat, where people can come out and tell their stories.
Yes, yes, yes. I love the concept because that's exactly it.
Yes, yes. We actually want to get more women on board to come in, tell their stories, and just inspire others because you never know who you can help.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yes. It's amazing who you meet along the way.
Absolutely. Riana, please tell me about today we're going to talk about the maternity ward at a
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah.
So I think maybe just give me a brief overview as to why you actually want to touch on such a subject.
Well, I can actually tell you what happened. I assisted a lady that had to go to the Baragwanath Hospital. And when we went through the whole admission process, it was a bit questionable for me. And everything that happened after that, from the discharge point, it clashed with everything that I stood for. And the woman that was there, I could see that they couldn't really say anything because they were ruled by fear, because they had to go back to the hospital for checkup. So they won't say anything against the hospital in fear of being victimized by the nurses and doctors. So I stood back and I said, I'll take it upon myself and stand in for these women because it's still happening today.
So do you want to maybe take me through the admission process that you're talking about?
Of course. Of course. If they go to be admitted, they are taken to a room. I don't know the final detail of it, but you go to a ward, I think it's ward 59 or 51, and the nurse over there actually checks you in with all the admin work. And while this is happening, she actually checks everything off, and this includes handing in your clothes. And that's fine because you can still keep your nightgown, or they'll give you a nightgown for the duration of your stay. But the part that's bothering me is they also collect your underwear, and that's your own personal underwear. Put it in a bag, and then they take it away out of the building, not even to your room, where you can only collect it once you're discharged.
I'm a little confused. So while she's at the hospital, do they give her underwear or how does it work? I'm a little confused now.
Not at all. It's plain and simple, just like that. The one nurse actually told me we do not allow any underwear because, now listen to this, Shamila, because once they give birth, they need access. Now, who needs access? Okay, the doctors needs access and the nurses needs access. So for their convenience, the mom must lay on the bed with no underwear for them just to check the dilation, which is fine, but she does not have a choice. So if a doctor comes, she doesn't have a choice to even take it off. And if the time isn't ready yet, maybe an hour or two away, she needs to be without underwear. I still struggle with that.
Okay, I think that is just stealing someone's dignity because we've all been in hospital with, you know, I've had babies. We have the disposable underwear that they give to us. So you're telling me that the hospital doesn't provide the women with that?
Nothing like that. It's taken, put in a bag, locked away in the closet area, almost like a storeroom. And then the lady goes to a bed, if she's lucky, a good clean bed. And the rest of her stay over there, it's done without underwear. I do know some ladies sneak it in and they wear it anyway, but it shouldn't be a matter of them sneaking it in. It should be a standard rule that your dignity will not be compromised.
Okay, but I'm also thinking about all the health issues around that. I mean, now we have women practically walking around naked. You're about to have a baby. You got drips coming out, droplets coming out. It's on the floor. That's not healthy and hygienic, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's definitely not. If I can touch on, we mentioned sanitary pads just now. They give a sanitary pad. Now, this is after birth. They give a sanitary pad. It's called Dr. White's. I've actually got one here with me.
I remember those are those big ones. Yes.
This
oh
is
my
it
goodness.
with a little loop.
Yes, yes.
This is what it looks like. Yes. So, you know what she told me what the loops are for? It's for added comfort. And it's actually written like that on the packet too. Yeah, the loops are there because this whole product was designed in the 1800s actually, and they manufactured this sanitary towel for all those years. In the 1970s, that's when the adhesive ones were designed. But we stuck on this. When I Googled it, it's actually a vintage product. It's not made, they don't manufacture the belts anymore. It's supposed to clip in here and clip in here, and then as a waist around the ladies, as a belt around the lady's waist. That's not given to the ladies.
Okay, Riana, my mom used to use one of those. So I remember when I was growing up, I used to see these things. So basically how it works is it works very similar to a normal sanitary pad. You just, they used to have sort of little piece of material or something that to make a belt. So they push it to the loop and they tie it around themselves so the pad doesn't slip or move out of place.
Yeah. Yes.
So you're telling me
exactly that.
Now in hospital with just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. And you know what's shocking, Shamila? When I asked about this even, the response was no, they have to wedge it between the legs and it doesn't fall because they've never had an incident where it fell out. I mean, can you even imagine that?
No, I don't want to even imagine that. Now you got this pad, but you gotta like literally stick your legs together and walk because you don't have underwear. That is not on.
Yes.
When was this?
No, it's not on. No, this is Baragwanath Hospital. And if you look at the pad, it's like netting. Now imagine if you have stitches.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine if you have stitches.
Yes. So when exactly was this? Is it recent?
Well, this fight comes a long time. It's still happening now, but I started this battle with a hospital in about 2 years ago, 2018, yes. Because I didn't want to go I want to expose you mode. I wanted to do stuff the right way. So I contacted the management. I contacted the complaints department. I tweeted the MEC of Health, Dr. Bandile. He tweeted me back with all the correct information, the procedures I needed to follow. I did all of that, communicated with them, and one of the response from the hospital was actually, yes, we do agree, it is inhumane. But up till today, no response, no fixing of this. This is still at the hospitals.
So to date, nothing has been done?
Nothing. That's why I'm, yeah.
What are you going to do about it going forward? Are you going to continue with that conversation?
I've started a petition because I wanted some ladies, some people to back me up, because my voice is my voice. I wanted more voices to stand with me on this. And I can't go to the hospital and ask the women over there because they are being victimized. We can't deny that fact. You can ask any woman out there before she goes to a government hospital, there's a sense of fear. I cannot reach out to them. The only thing is women that can relate to this and actually know and tap into themselves and not agree with it. If they can sign the petition with me. And I think also just put the word out there to say, you can say no. I mean, if maybe I'm too brave or too, I don't know, naive to say this, but if it was me at the hospital, I would have said no, doesn't matter if I'm going to be victimized, because I'm not going to be put in a position like that. Now, it's just to empower women to say, you are allowed to say no. And if there's any repercussion from that, then let's take it from there. But you cannot do this to me. It's wrong, and they need to know that it's wrong.
Yeah, I think it's a bit difficult. You know, you're about to have a baby, you're going to hospital, those moments of anxiety. I don't think you're going to stand up. You're just going to do what they tell you to do, to be honest with you, because you're in such a fragile state at that time.
Yes.
But what is your support from the public?
Well, I went public exactly the 9th of August. I've got 89 today, one added signature, but I haven't been pushing it really on my social media page. From today, this is actually the launch of my full-on, I'm going to go out to get more signatures, hooking up with people that can do interviews with me, getting to talk about it. Because a lot of people, the feedback that I'm getting is, we did not know. I did not know. Because it's not something you talk about. I mean, some people even still think menstruation is taboo. And now I still have to get over that before I can talk about the issue. So yeah, it's a long story, but I need the word out there. It needs to stop.
I'm so glad that someone is doing something about this, because, you know, we have to stand up for our women. Have you spoken to any of the nurses?
I did. Yes, I did. I've spoken to one of the matrons. I've done regular calls over the time from 2018. And the feedback I'm getting from them is always the same. It's protocol. That's the first reason why. And one of the reasons, actually, they say they can't go to adhesive sanitary towels is because the sticky paper at the back the woman will mess up the bathroom. So these pieces of paper will lay all over the place, and they can't have that.
But wait a minute. You can't have that because they have no underwear. What are they going to stick it on?
But that's it. Everything that they say don't make sense. And even if I say, now, why can't you have a section where the woman actually, an option where the woman take care of herself? There's visitors coming in. There's people that can look. No, we cannot have that. Hygienically, it won't be viable. We can't have underwear all over the place. It's a vicious circle. I do not get any assistance or any constructive solution to the problem. It's protocol, and we're sticking to it, and it's not going to change. And I say no, it must change.
So Riana, did you check with other hospitals, public hospitals? Is that happening there as well?
I haven't done intensive follow-ups with other hospitals like I did with Baragwanath, but I have spoken to ladies that's been in other hospitals. They have the exact same sanitary towel, but I know the one do allow you to bring in your underwear, but it sounds almost like it's always also undercover. Not in depth other hospitals outside of Gauteng, but the feeling I'm getting is underwear is not really something that the woman would have a choice on. They come in and you can't give birth with underwear on. You have to take it off. And when you take it off, it needs to be taken away. That's the sentiment I'm getting.
Okay, so we can actually go out in public and say, okay, fine, if you're going to have a baby and you're going to one of these public hospitals, please leave your underwear at home.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's absurd.
That's exactly.
I promise you, it's the first time I'm actually hearing something like this.
Yeah, it's not spoken of. It's a sad reality, and the minute you're there, you feel that sense of fear from the ladies because you can't openly talk about it. It's embarrassing, and you don't want them to feel further embarrassed by bringing up certain topics and talking about it and doing research, because I have asked a lot of questions, and you can't just put them on a spot. They're already on a spot.
That is very sad. We need to stand up for our women because I think this is just abuse. Frankly, it's abuse.
It is. And I must just mention, Shamila, this whole underwear story, if I must go back to just a part of our history, Winnie Mandela was also incarcerated at our female prison in Constitution Hill. It's a museum now. Anybody can go visit this museum. And once you're there, try and find a specific piece in this museum. You'll see it immediately. It's a brief. It's a lady's underwear in a glass box. Now, why is that? I'm not saying this because I want to go back to our political part of it and bring back racism, but I do believe we need to learn from our mistakes and never repeat it. The reason why this underwear is there, when Winnie Mandela stepped into this prison, the first thing she saw was women down on their knees cleaning the floor, and some of them even had blood dripping down their legs because they were not allowed any underwear, they were not allowed any sanitary towels, and it was a method that was used to dehumanize them. So once it happens and this black lady needs a sanitary towel, she needs to go to a white Afrikaner male warden and prove that she's menstruating and prove that she's in a state where she actually needs something from him. And then only he might give her a sanitary towel without underwear. They came up with ways to put it. It actually also had a loop in it. It's like a piece of cloth. There's even a cloth in the museum. I'd encourage any woman to go there and just absorb all the stuff that happened over there to our fellow women in those years. And it's shocking that that happened. Winnie Mandela went to one of the later nuns over there, and she said, this is not right. The actual word she actually uses, these women are not animals. They are human beings, and even if they were in jail, they still need their dignity. And it's almost like she needs to come back to tell that to our government right now, because they're doing exactly the same thing to our women. The only difference is it's now white, blacks, Indian, colored, all the women. And it comes with a sense of we don't really care about you, and that's why we're not focused on it. That's why I feel this whole gender-based, we're standing with our women of South Africa. I question that because the basic thing isn't even done right. I shrivel when I think of their campaigns, and our women in the hospital are sitting there and then being dehumanized.
That is not on. And I think, I'm so glad that you're coming out and doing something about it. Merita says a revolution needs to take place and you're starting a radical movement, Riana. I think, if we look at it, the key people don't know what's happening. And we need to have that voice to go out there in public and say exactly what it is. Because a lot of people aren't aware. I mean, I told you I wasn't aware of that. Do you think it would be an issue if I tag the hospital on this video?
I don't mind that. I definitely do not mind. You can tag Dr. Bandile, you can tag the hospital, you can even tag the Human Rights Commission, because I went full circle with all of them. No feedback from no one.
Okay, perfect. Did you come across any other issues at the hospital?
I did. The one that stood out for me, and I know a lot of women know this too, but it's spoken about, but no action took place. It's the way our women are being treated in hospitals. There's no respect, and I'm not saying this to take away from the nurses and the essential service that they're giving to our country. But there's good nurses out there. There's awesome ones. I'm not going to take that. I know a couple. They're amazing nurses. But you can't deny the fact that there's other nurses out there that just doesn't stand up to their pledge. It's a matter of, am I going to go to a torture chamber right now, or must I just stay at home and give birth at home situation? If I was in that position, what I saw at the hospital and some of the stories that I've heard in my I lost the word, but anyway, I spoke to a mom. What she actually told me tore me apart. She gave birth to a little one. It's at Baragwanath Hospital also, by the way. She gave birth to a little one, but okay, before the birth, the baby didn't want to come. It wasn't time. The time wasn't ready yet. So they said, okay, we're going to do an emergency C-section. And they wheeled her out to the theater. The one doctor walked past. He stopped the bed and he opened her legs, put his finger in, checked, and he says, now the baby is ready. Took out his scissor and just cut her right there. And baby was born in the passage in front of everybody. Baby was born. After that, they had to stitch her up, which they did. But the next they realized they stitched so far that it closed her anus. That's how far he cut, and that's how far they stitched. But it didn't end there. They had to open up everything again without using anesthetic. She had to literally scream, and after she didn't stop screaming, then only they numbed the area. Then only they could rectify the stitching.
That is
bogs my mind.
Poor woman.
Just a few days ago, yesterday, a friend of mine tagged me in another story where a lady, she had to lay in hospital for 3 days with a dead baby in her womb. There was no beds. I read about 4 stories like that where, and the baby didn't die because of natural causes. It's because no attention was given to her. Some women are being told, close your legs, we're not ready for you yet. How can you do that? It's the
okay, Riana, can I stop you there? What is being done about it? You're aware of it. What is being done about it?
There's awareness. We're going to make a noise. I would like everybody to join me to make this noise. Our government, the ears are there, but there's no action. And when it comes to gender-based violence and partners attacking their women, I believe we're heading in the right direction to address this. But I also believe that the attack that's happening on our women through our government, dare I say, is still happening, and that's a simple fix. It needs to be fixed at first. Treat our women properly. Let them have the choice to have their own clothing at the hospitals. And number 3, at least come up with a better quality. This is not even SABS approved. It's not even SABS approved, but you're giving it to our woman, the same woman that you want to tell, come and start your business. Come and be the next entrepreneur. Come and take over the economy. Will she even have that energy to see herself in that position? But her baby's life and her life started off like this, but there's no quality.
Sure. I mean, absolute shock right now. Hearing all of this as a woman, it's Women's Month. We're addressing such an important issue. I think something needs to be done. Have you been to the Department of Women?
I think I've sent them a mail and it bounced. All the mails I sent, so I just dropped them. If I might just put it out there, I just dropped them. I see them on TV, stepping in for campaigns that sometimes don't even matter. But yeah,
I'm going to actually put you in touch with someone. So I think we need to actually drive this and take it further.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm lost for words, actually. Riana, what would be your message to women out there? It's Women's Month. We've come to the end of the chat. What would be your message to women out there?
I think, well, that's how I live it right now. If you see something, choose to do something about it. If you see something that's not in line with what you want to do, or that's not in line with what you believe, or that's going against your grain of beliefs, a standard of quality of life, stand up and do something about it. Fear is something that should not hold you back. Once you decide you can do that, you will make a difference in many other people around you. And do it now.
Absolutely, I like that. We're going to end there. If you have any comments on this post, we're going to share this across all platforms. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube. Please comment. We need your help. If you can help in any way, let's make a difference. Let's change the lives of people, especially our women in public hospitals. And thank you, Riana, for coming onto the chat and sharing your experiences. I think it's so important for us to take this forward.
Thank you so much, Shamila. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All the best and well done on what you've done so far, but I think we still have a lot of work to be done.
A lot, definitely.
Thank you, Riana. Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you would like to get on to the Red Corner chat, please drop me an email. It's redcornerchat@gmail.com, and let's get chatting. Pam says, I support you all the way, Riana. So all the best. We support you. We're here. Let's drive this. Thank you. Bye.
All I need. Thank you.